Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Plan It Till You Make It. I hope you guys are doing well as always. This is officially video 2 of Planmas, and today I want to kind of share with you guys kind of my thought process on how I'm going into 2026. As you know, the Plan It Till You Make It planner offers sections where you can reflect on your goals, and throughout the year, as I was reflecting on my planner, as I was reflecting on my planning system, I just realized there are some things I have to leave in 2025 because burnout is a real thing. I believe in the planner community, and sometimes I do get overwhelmed trying to keep up with the Joneses, trying to keep up with the planner community, keep up with all the trends. And this going into 2026, there are some things I'm going to change just to make sure that I am setting myself up to win and not fail in my planning system. Now, this is where I am currently in life. Now, something might change. Things might change that require me to make adjustments in my planning system. However, for the most part, a lot of these things on the list I will not carry over 2026 and maybe not ever carry into my planning system. So I'm doing this video. If there's anything in here I call out that you do, I'm not telling you not to do them. When I sit down to think about what I want to do in my planning system going into 2026, these are some of the things that I just can't carry along if I want to be productive. And one thing I have learned also reflecting on my goals, reflecting on my planning system throughout 2025 is that I am human. I am human. I live a real life. I have real life experiences. My life from day to day is not always the same. The person I was when I created my planning system at the beginning of 2025 is not the same person I am going into 2026. Starting into 2025, I was traveling for work. So my contract ended back at the end of May, and I'm currently unemployed. And so I don't need a planning system for work. However, though I am not currently working, but I have gone back to school and I'm finishing my master's program. And so those are two different aspects of my life where at the beginning of the year, I was in one place. And now towards the end of the year, I'm in another place. And so I need my planner to be able to make those changes with me. So I'm going to go through the list. I have my laptop with me and I'm getting ready to start. Okay, so starting off, that's kind of the same thought process I had at the beginning of 2025 when I made that list. And the first thing I am not doing in 2026 is over collecting planners. I think part of it is a shock factor when we open YouTube and we see planner lineups and somebody will have 10, 11, 12 planners. As much as I enjoy watching that, in my life, it doesn't work. I do not have space in my life to have 10 different physical planners. As I mentioned before, where I am in life, I do travel for work, and sometimes I have to take a chunk of my life with me as I'm traveling for work. And so I cannot carry 10 planners with me. I cannot carry my whole planner collection, my whole sticker collection with me. And so really do not need an extensive amount of planners. I genuinely cannot keep up with them. What I realize works for me is having inserts. For instance, I don't need a full planner for social media, but I do use inserts for social media. I just need monthly overview to be able to track, to be able to have a visual of when I'm posting something. I don't need a health planner. I use the Play to Make It planner to track my exercise, which is one of the most important things for me when it comes to my health, is making sure I work out a good amount of times throughout the week. When I do it, I just check it off in the habit tracker in the Play to Make It planner. When it comes to my business, when it comes to so many other areas, I really do not need the planner for it. I'm going to show you, I have a task list in the Plan to Make It planner, and that is where I put everything that needs to get done for that area of my life. I use one box for my business. I use one box for things I need to buy. I use one box for school, and that's how I'm able to stay organized and making sure I'm not missing out on anything in my life. I don't need too many different planners. The only areas of my life where I use separate planning system is my Play to Make It Goals planner. I have my prayer journal. I have my regular journal. And if you've never tracked certain things in your life before, you really don't need a planner. Just start doing that. What I would encourage is, as I'm going to show you in the next video, take the time, sit down and see what do you focus on in life. Is it your health? Is it your eating habits? Is it your goals? What is it? What exactly do you do in your everyday life and things that you would like to improve in? And do you need a planner for that? If there's a category someone shows in their planner lineup that you don't really care to track, you don't need a planner for it. You don't use social media, you don't need a planner to track social media, okay? Another thing I will not be doing in 2026 is overcomplicating my planning system with extra trackers and inserts or what have you. That kind of already goes with not having too many planners, but this one also has to do with inserts. As I mentioned earlier, I do prefer inserts for my planner rather than having a full-blown planner. However, I realize sometimes even the inserts are not necessary for my life. And that goes back to having a task list in my Plan It Till You Make It planner that I can track certain things. For example, when I started school again, I thought I needed a planner just for school. Turns out I didn't. So I narrowed it down to just having inserts to track my school tasks. Turns out I didn't need it. I was not keeping up with it. The way I planned and I studied for school, I just did not need it. And so what I find myself doing is just having a section in the Plan It Till You Make It planner within my weekly section where I would list everything that is due for school for the week or anything I need to do regarding school. And I will check them off as I go throughout the week. I don't need a ton of inserts. The more inserts I have, the less likely I'll be able to keep up with them and track things down. Just a side note, what I've realized also in my planning system is what is out of sight is really out of mind. If I can't see it, I'm going to forget about it. And so again, that's why I try to keep everything, every area of my life in one planner or keep it in within my weekly planner. And the same thing goes for having habit trackers. I have 7 lines to track habits in the Plan It Till You Make It planner. And that's what I use to track my habits. I have tried before to try to track every single thing I do throughout the day. And what I would find is I would get overwhelmed with how much stuff I would have to check off. And sometimes I just end up not doing them. And again, I don't need all of that. I'm keeping my planning system simple. I'm keeping my system to what has been working for me. The next thing I will no longer be doing is detailed hourly planning. I mentioned that the last list I made, I'm no longer doing the hourly planning. I wish that was my life. I love the aesthetic of watching people plan their whole week out, knowing exactly what's going to happen and when. I love to see it, but it just doesn't work for me. And I think I've tried it 2 or 3 times in my planning system. It does not work. It does not work. Every time I do it, I really start to resent it because it's one thing extra thing I'm doing in my planning system and it's not working and I'm not using it. It was just getting very frustrating. What I have found that works and I will continue to do is use daily planners or daily sheets. Now, another thing, I don't need it to be dated. And that is why I created the daily tasks notepad. I don't want it to be dated because some days I do daily planning and some days I don't. And so if there's a day I don't use, I don't want to feel guilty about wasting blank pages. This daily notepad is what I've been using for the past few months, and it has worked wonders. I don't have any time blocks in there. As true to Plan It Till You Make It, I try to leave it as empty as possible. That way you can plan your life accordingly. And what I would find is when I buy a daily planner that already has the time set out for me, that also gets a little bit overwhelming because sometimes I wake up at 7 in the morning, at 8 in the morning, at 9 in the morning, depending on what I'm doing that day or depending what time I went to sleep the night before. And so when I wake up to a planner that starts at 5 in the morning and I'm waking up at 9 a.m., there's already 4 blocks of time that's already wasted. And so I prefer to leave that space blank and I put in my time depending on when I wake up that day. And that is what I've been using every day and it has been super productive. Everything I would like to get done for that day goes on that notepad and I'm looking at it throughout the day. If I need to run out to go do something, I grab it with me and I could have it on the go and continue to work on my tasks even if I'm not behind my desk. Another thing I'm no longer doing as a planner babe in 2026, and that is buying something simply because it's on sale. Listen, I love a good sale and I do love a good deal, but when there's a sale going on, I'll find myself going through a certain website, looking through stickers, looking through washi just to buy them. And a lot of times I already have them here. And one thing I've done a few times this year and I'm going to continue to do in 2026 is I will look through my stash and see if I have it. Moving forward, I'm only going to buy something if there's a gap in my planning system and I need to purchase new things. For example, just the other day, I realized I ran out of my paper made flares. Thank God at the time it was around Black Friday, Cyber Monday. So I found a really good deal online and I was able to save a good amount of money. And so I bought a pack of 36. And so I'm good on Papermate Flare for a really long time. But those are things that I actually use. I use Papermate Flare to plan in my planner. And so that was a smart purchase. So then going through my planning system, I find that a lot of things I did buy, it was simply because it was a good deal. Probably 2, 3 years later, it's still sitting here and I have yet to touch it. On the same topic, one thing I'm not doing in 2026 is buying more stickers. And even if I do buy any stickers, it's going to be because there's a gap in my planning system and I do need those stickers. Last time I had a rude awakening. I was talking to my sister about overconsumption and she told me, "How many sticker books do you have?" Girl, why would you say that? We're talking about other people. I'm not talking about me. I'm saying other people need to change, not me. And so when she told me right then and there, she was in my office, and right then and there, I went through all of my sticker books, and I think I have close to 200 sticker books, at least between 150 and 200 sticker books. I don't remember the number, but I know it was way over 100. And so when she said that, it really hit me. I really do have a lot of sticker books, and sometimes I would see other people with their sticker collection and think, oh, I only have one card full of stickers. It's not that bad. Actually, it is that bad. There are stickers here I have not touched for years. There are sticker books here I don't think I've used since I've bought them. And so I don't need any more dolls stickers. I have enough. I don't need any more floral sticker books. I have enough. I don't care how cute it is. I'm not buying any more. And another rule I'm also establishing for myself is that just because I like 2 or 3 pages out of a sticker book does not justify buying a 20-page sticker book. It does not. 3 pages out of 20 pages, just because I like that one set in that sticker book does not justify buying that sticker book. And so moving forward, things I'm going to take in place, I'm going to look through my stash first, see if I'm missing anything. I have to like at least 85% of the sticker book before I'm 80 to 85% of that sticker book before I make that purchase. I've been collecting stickers, I would say almost going into 10 years now. And so my sticker collection, I think for the most part, is complete. Everything I use on a day to day in my when I plan, I already have it here, and I don't need to buy any more stuff. Okay. The next one I will no longer be doing. I will not be buying any more washi tapes. Depending on the washi tape, I'm going to follow that same concept for when it comes to the stickers. If there's a gap in my washi tape collection, then I'll make that purchase. Otherwise, I don't need it. Up to this point, when it comes to washi tapes, when it comes to stickers, I know what I like. I already have so many washis I've bought in the past that it's no longer my taste. It's no longer what I gravitate towards. So they're just sitting there in my washi collection and I just don't use them. And so I want to go through the washi tapes I have. And just the other day, I found a really good deal on washi tapes and I ordered the box. Come to find out, I already purchased that collection. So now I have duplicates when it comes to my stickers. I'm not doing that anymore. It's a no for me. I have enough. I have enough. And on that same topic, another thing I'm no longer buying is colorful pins. That right there is a big no. That right there is a big no. I don't use colorful pins. In the beginning of my planning system, I guess I used to use a lot of red pins to check things off. But the truth of the matter is I only use black pins in my planning system. If I used to add color to my page, I use the pen tip either in my mouth liner or my tumble markers or whatever other markers I have. Those are the ones I tend to gravitate towards when I need to add colors, when I need to write something in color in my planner. I do not use colorful pens. Whatever the pen is, literally, they sit there and I don't use them. So I'm not cluttering my system. I'm not cluttering my office. I have enough. So for real, unless it's a life-changing colorful pen, I don't want it. Okay. I don't want it. And the next one, I think we're at number 9 now. Another thing I'm no longer doing in my playing system is choosing aesthetic over functionality. Now, contrary to popular opinion, I do believe you can do functional and decorative planning. I believe just because you decorate your planner does not mean you're not using your planner. You're not being functional with your planner. And also, just because you don't decorate your planner does not mean you're being functional in your planner. That's where I stand on that. I already made a video about it. I said enough about that. So yes, I do love to decorate my planner. Sometimes I find that even to plan my week, unless my planner is decorated, I don't gravitate towards planning in my planner. And also I'm really trying to get through my sticker books. And so, however, what I will not do is compare my spread to people online. Lately, I'll see a spread, I'll like it, and I'll move on. My life is different from people online. I don't need to try to match my aesthetic to what somebody else is doing. And also, a lot of the time, the spreads that people do post, they do consist of newer stickers and newer stuff. Because I'm trying to stay away from buying new sticker books, I don't need to be seeing those. I don't need to be trying to achieve those because what it's going to do is going to have me at Michael's looking for stickers. We're not doing that, okay? Okay, we're not doing that. Okay. Don't compare your spreads to people online. And that includes me also. I know the tendency is we see a cute spread and we're like, oh my gosh, and we try to recreate it. Sometimes that person has been doing decorative planning for 10 years, 15 years, even before it was a thing. So they've had a lot of practice and they've kind of really narrowed the art of decorating their planner. Don't try to do that. Give yourself grace and give yourself time to develop your own taste when it comes to decorating your planner. And if you see what my planners look like 3, 4 years ago, is not what it looks like. My system has changed. Sometimes I don't add as many stickers as I used to. And my taste has changed a lot. A lot of stickers I used to really enjoy using, I don't enjoy using them anymore. And so it took me some time to get there. I encourage you, if you're new to the planner community and you see all these stickers and all these things and you're tempted to get them, don't get them. I would encourage you, when you're starting off decorating your planner, get yourself some colorful boxes, maybe get yourself some dolls if you like those, get yourself some florals because you can never go wrong with floral stickers, and maybe some quotes here and there, and maybe some grid washi. That's what I find myself gravitate towards. And those are the few things that are really easy to use in your planner. Colorful boxes, florals, and maybe like a grid washi and some doll stickers if you like those. And that's what decorative planning is really all about. It's about having this creative outlet to express your creativity, to express where you are in life. If you're constantly trying to keep up with someone else's aesthetic, you will never see your true creativity in your planner, and you won't be able to see where you have improved and how your taste has changed over time. Now, I'm not saying not to get inspiration. I do find inspiration online. Sometimes I go on Pinterest, and like I said, I watch Playing with Bumble. I really do love how she decorates her planners, and I use that for inspiration, but I don't copy what she does. And with that, even looking back at my planner from maybe 2022, 2021, and even before that, I can see how my planning style has changed, and I can see some of the things that have remained the same. It's a beautiful thing to see how you evolve. So I encourage you, use what you see on Instagram, on TikTok, even what I post online, see it as inspiration to kind of help you to create your own thing, because I believe you have your own creativity, and I encourage you to use that, and you'll see over time how much your playing system has evolved, and it's truly a beautiful thing. And on that same note, to close this out, one thing I'm not doing in 2026 is aiming for perfection. I did it, and there were times I really felt burnt out. The reality of it is I really couldn't do all the things I was writing in my planner. There were times I would feel overwhelmed. Again, I travel for work, so my schedule looks different, and now I'm in school, and I have learned, especially reflecting on my goals, I have learned that to be intentional about what I'm writing in my planner, being intentional about the tasks I add to my planner, being intentional about the goals I set for the month. I know I have a list of goals I would like to accomplish for the year. But the truth of the matter is, I also run a business. I also go to school. I also have family. There are so many other things I need to be present for. And when it comes to my planning, when it comes to achieving my goals, I have to pace myself. Losing 50 pounds in 1 month and running a marathon all in 1 month is not sustainable. So what I would find is that I get frustrated, I get overwhelmed, I get burnt out. And sometimes, I won't lie to you, I do get embarrassed also, because I put my planning system, I put all my goals on the internet for everyone to see. And so when I say I'm going to get something done and I don't get it done, I do get embarrassed coming online and telling you guys it didn't happen. And so what I've learned is that, listen, it's okay. If there's anything I would want to leave you with, is allow yourself the flexibility and give yourself the chance to be flexible when it comes to your playing system. As I said in the beginning, you are a real person, you are human. Your life does not look the same from day to day. Life happens, circumstances happen, situations happen. Sometimes I have the plan to do something in a day. Sometimes a family matter comes up that requires my immediate attention. So going into 2026, I'm not going to try to do a million difficult things, a million difficult tasks all at once. If I don't have the time for it, if I don't have the mental capacity for it, I'm not going to add it to my planner. Okay. And going into the new year, that is one thing I'm focusing on. Hit my word of the year. I'm focusing on being intentional. I'm focusing on being intentional about planning, being intentional about showing up for myself. I'm being intentional about accomplishing my goals, being intentional in every aspect of my life. I hope you found this helpful. Maybe there's something in here I mentioned. If you don't agree with it, I would love to hear your take on it. And if it's something you do agree with and you'll no longer be doing also in 2026, I would love to hear it. Maybe I missed something. Maybe I overlooked something. So I would really love to hear you guys' opinion. We are in this together. I'm so excited for this. In the next video, I'll be showing you guys my thought process in how I choose my planners, how I set up my lineup going into the new year. Okay. So sorry for talking your ears off. I hope you guys did enjoy this and I hope you learned something. And that is it. Bye.